Who is the best fucking team in West London?
Unfortunately, Thomas Frank will not be saying this at Stamford Bridge next season. He was one of the candidates for the job, but apparently it's now going to be Enzo Maresca. Still nothing confirmed, but from what we're hearing on social media, I think he is the number one candidate. Now, Enzo Maresca, pretty unknown before we were linked with him, right? Yes, he did win promotion with Leicester City, he finished first. Least goals conceded, I think he was second. Goals scored, by the way, had a huge lead and almost finished second. Now, Leicester, in my opinion, are not a championship team. They're a Premier League team that got relegated, so for them to get promotion again was a no-brainer. Now, Enzo Maresca previously worked with a couple of famous names. He worked with Joe Shields, Romeo Lavia, and Cole Palmer, of course, Chelsea people right now. He did work with Pep Guardiola, Marcelo Lippi, Carlo Ancelotti, and Manuel Pellegrini. So clearly an Italian that works with Italian, obviously, but those are some legendary names in the world of football. The way he likes to play, he likes to control the game, high possession game. You need high IQ players for that to work quite well. And he likes to invert his fullbacks. We've seen that in the last couple of games with Pochettino and the use of Cucurella. Now, I do want to ask you, the viewer, something, right? The resemblance is uncanny. This is a fake headline, don't sue me. But isn't he like a mix of Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta? I mean, you can see this, right? Bold, and then maybe the eyes are a bit the same here. Interesting. Anyways, the main reason why I wanted to compare him a little bit to Pep Guardiola and Manchester City, not saying that they're the same level or anything like that, far from it. But if you look at Leicester City's performance last season versus the average of the Championship, you look at Manchester City and the average of the Premier League, you can clearly see that they're both trending in the same direction, right? Overachieving when it comes to goals, shots, field tilt, possession, goals conceded, shots conceded. And underperforming when it comes to long balls. With regards to Leicester, crosses are underperforming as well. But Manchester City, I mean, it's pretty clear that he gets a lot of inspiration from how Manchester City are playing. And the team is actually performing their duty. Because otherwise you can have a vision, but if the team does not perform it, doesn't do what you're asking them to do, then you're not going to get these types of results. Of course, again, this is Championship compared to Premier League. And like I said, Leicester City, in my opinion, is a Premier League team that is just playing for a season in the Championship. So I think that's one of the main reasons why our owners, our sporting directors, or might be looking for this guy to come in. Again, if you look at our owners, I don't think they know anything about football. Let's be honest. They never worked in football, so they don't really know much. The sporting directors, yes, they did work in football a little bit, but they were also the ones that chose Pochettino, and then suddenly now Pochettino is not good enough for the project. So what's going on here? Anyways, this whole project thing to me doesn't make any sense because I don't really have the feeling that the guys in the offices at the top know what they're doing or know what the project is about. Anyways, if you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe. We're very close to 1,000 subscribers, so thank you very much for all the support. We're getting this channel bigger and bigger for the start of next season, so I appreciate all the support. Now let's continue. I've put here a couple of things together. So first of all, Leicester City this season, possession-wise, 62.2%. So like I said, he likes to have the ball. His teams are having the ball a lot of times, compared to just 48% in 2023. When it comes to dominating areas on the pitch, only Southampton have done better, as you can see here from the pictures on the left. But overall, Leicester City are dominating most parts of the pitch. When you look at open play expected goals, Leicester City ranked first, Southampton second, Leeds third. They are still going to play in the Championship next season, thank God, and Ipswich fourth. If you look at the passes per sequence and the direct speed, they are just behind Southampton. They like to play slow and intricate passes. As we've discussed previously, Ipswich is right in the middle here. We've talked about the reason why Ipswich is in the middle for most of the passes, long, short, etc., etc. It's because they can adapt quite quickly. They don't really have a specific style of play. But then if we go and look at Enzo Maresca's style of play, we first start here with the 4-3-3 starting formation. So pretty easy, right? One player that is basically the bodyguard of the back four, two midfielders here, and then three up front. And then when the fullbacks push up the field, there is one player that's going to stay behind. So you have here a three-man defense that basically defend the transition. Why is that? Well, because the fullbacks are up the pitch. So if you get caught on the counter, number 3 here in this case can go a bit wider, number 4 a bit wider as well, and number 7 gets tucked in between. So you get, let's say, a new back 3. But let's say you're switching to a 4-2-3-1. Then what happens when the fullback go upfield? You're left here with a 4-man defense that defends the transition. Yet again, it's very important for those two players in the middle of the park, or previously the one player, to do his job correctly. But all of this is to say that you're going to attack in this case with 6 players. And now moving to the next part, which is the inverted fullback part, which is an extremely important part of his whole philosophy. So what do we have here? We've got the back four from before, but the back four has switched, right? You've got the fullback that now turns into, let's call it a center back, a back 3. The fullback, the right back, is now in the middle of the park here with the midfielder, the second midfielder. The other one is higher up the pitch. Now, why is that important? Why is the inverted fullback so important for his strategy? Well, if we look at Leicester City, for example, and by the way, 3 at the back, right? 2 center backs, 1 fullback. But what happens here is that the goalkeeper comes into play as well, adds an extra player to that back line. So you're basically back to, let's say, a back 4, including the goalkeeper. Why is that important? Well, you now have way more passing options, right? You've got Wout Faes, you've got Vestergaard, you've got Doyle here stretching the field, and you've got Pereira, which is the fullback that is tucked in right here, and you've got those 4 players in the middle of the park. And Didi, Harry Winks, and Dewsbury Hall, huge spaces here in the middle. What happens? You can pass too fast if you want, or the goalkeeper, if he's good with his feet, can directly go through all of these players right here and reach Dewsbury Hall. But going back to the importance of the inverted fullback, and especially his partner right here. He gave an example with going against a 4-4-2 team. So as you can see, the orange is the opposition, so 4-4-2. Why is it important to have the inverted fullback partner up with that double pivot, or that one player that still remains in midfield? Is because of this. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players here in the middle and only 2 from the opposition. So you're overloading this area of the pitch. Of course, the opposition can counter that. The center back can go a bit higher, but then again, you get a center back that is out of position, which means your number 9 is free to go a bit more on the left, or even join that 4 in the middle of the park and create some chaos. You've got the wingers that are 1v1s. If they're better, should be better, you can go from the inside or the outside and again create some chaos. But there is extreme importance that has been put on those 2 players on the pitch. Why? Well, this number 5 here is the inverted fullback. The inverted fullback, let's say he's got the ball, he can then directly pass it to the number 9. Forget about all the other passes that he can make here in the middle of the pitch. No, he can directly create chaos and go straight to the number 9. The number 9 can also tuck in a little bit, help out, reduce the pressure, and then you go and use your wingers as well. But number 5, number 7 can directly access number 9 through one simple pass. Well, simple-ish pass. Because they dominate here. There are 4 players against 2, which I should have visualized a bit better right here. Like I said, number 3, one of the opposition center back, can come in, put some pressure on number 6. When that happens, of course, you will have more spaces here near the number 9, but the number 9 can also join in with those 4 players and create even more overload in those areas. And again, number 5 can then pass the ball to the number 9 and you continue your attack. Then let's say you lose the ball. Let's say the opposition starts playing the ball around. Pretty easy. The inverted fullback goes back to where he was before. The wingers then come back as well and you continue and you start again with your back 4. Now I do want to go back to this picture. We do have the players for this. Remember, Reece James is extremely athletic, very, very good with his passing. Now, do we like to play him all the time as a fullback, wingback? He can get injured quite a lot, as we can clearly see. Back in his days at Wigan, he did play in the middle of the field. Could he be benefiting from the inverted fullback strategy? 100%, because again, there is extreme importance put on that player right there. Needs to be intelligent, needs to be athletic as well, and I do think that Reece James fits that profile. Plus, this will also allow our wingers to have 1v1s. We know our wingers are speedy, talented. Cole Palmer can also roam here these areas or can join in with our number 9, whether it's going to be Nkunku, Nicholas Jackson, or a new one remains to be seen. But I do think that this type of strategy can fit our squad perfectly. Plus, with regards to our center backs, right? Maybe a back 4 doesn't always work perfectly for us, but let's say Colwill is back, he's fit, he can be the one conducting it all here. Full back on the left is probably going to be either Chilwell or Cucurella. Center back, the second center back is, I don't know, either Disasi or some will say Fofana, even though I don't think he deserves to play. I don't think he's that good. But then again, if we're selling Chalobah, then it's probably going to be him. Anyways, this strategy, in my opinion, does fit Chelsea currently. Of course, we're going to add a couple of new players. We're going to sell a couple of players as well. But in my opinion, this is a strategy that will definitely benefit the likes of Reece James, Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke, maybe even Mudryk as well. But of course, like I said, nothing is confirmed right now, but I can see why the sporting directors, the owners, might be looking at someone like Enzo Maresca. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens in the next 24 to 48 hours. Of course, these are just my thoughts. Leave yours down in the comment section below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.